Oh, by the way, you have anxiety. So what they're going to do? Hey, take this pill. It's gonna be helping you out. But what's missing from that whole interaction with the doctor, the medical system?
There's no questions about your diet.
Yep.
No question. No connection to think about, well, what are you eating? How's your gut health, right? None of that. No explanation for the root causes. But just take the pill.
Yeah, it's a cookie cutter approach to people who are completely different, and you have to understand that people are 100% different, and not every treatment is for everybody.
Right.
It's unique, and then that's a problem that I have with the medical system, that no one connects the dots.
Yeah.
Right? Specialists know, they kind of stay in their little silos and just don't. They work in this little world and don't want to hear anything else because they know all be all. And then because you have specialists and you have the general practitioners, or family doctors, and then gynecologists and GI doctors, they're all in their silos, and so now you get this fragmented approach that just fails the patients.
Right. I know a lot of people who are on medication for years. Side effects, right? There's digestive issues ignored by the doctors because they're not making the connection. There's gut anxiety, connection is overlooked.
It really is overlooked. We can't stress that enough, because here's what happens. The pattern just repeats itself consistently over and over and over again. When you are medicating to treat the symptoms, the Band-Aid, right, doesn't
Yes,
heal.
it doesn't heal.
You're not treating the causes. And so now you're missing how the overall body works. And that's had a problem with a lot of different treatments and how people look at nutrition. There's all interconnected, and it's quite simple but complicated, but don't make it more complicated than it has to be.
Treated as separate parts instead of a whole person.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They're treating instead of treating everybody synergistically, it's like, you have to look at all these different areas of the human body because it's so complex yet so simple.
Yeah, it really, really is simple. And so I think when it comes down to dealing with anxiety, there's a few myths that I believe just exist and prevalent in people's thinking. And the first one is that anxiety is indeed primarily a brain chemical imbalance. That's the myth I think is out there.
Yeah.
Because if it was a chemical imbalance, you change the chemical with a pill, then you're good. But
You should bounce right
you should
back.
bounce right back. Yeah, it's oversimplified, and that, in my view, that prevents the healing. Whereas in true reality, I think there's more hope in looking at the gut brain connection.
Isn't that what most doctors say though? Like the standard explanation for decades? You have a chemical imbalance.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we got to bring it back in balance. And here's a medication. Look at my trusty book. Here's a medication for you. This will help.
Yeah, that's an explanation.
Yeah.
But it's definitely incomplete at best.
Yeah.
It really is, because when you have anxiety, those symptoms often improve
Okay.
when your gut inflammation resolves.
Okay.
Right? Inflammation is what destroys the body, creates a lot of chronic diseases, and also the mental anxiety. And again, clinical settings have repeatedly showed this over and over and over again. And so for many people, like when you have mood disorders, they do. It begins with inflammation. And like I said, the brain is part of the body.
Yeah.